Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Lost Legion. I am your host, JR, and we got our two co-hosts, Daniel and Jose. How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Yo, yo.
So, a couple things we're gonna announce, or not announcing anything actually. Um, Atomic Mass Games has officially revealed all of Grievous's squad pack and all of is it Luminara? Yeah,
Luminara.
yeah,
yeah,
Luminara squad packs. They revealed the commando stats. You guys got a chance to look at them?
yeah.
Nope.
What do you think, Daniel?
I was a little underwhelmed by the commandos specifically. It's rough though. I mean, they're just supports, but I kind of almost want them to be like really, really broken. But they're not. And so you look at it as like, hey, they're kind of just as good as clone troopers, which is kind of sad, but it's okay.
You gotta wait
That's
for
how the
Bad
game has to be
Batch for
balanced.
broken.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Really,
don't
they would
know.
just have to be in a different spot. Like they'd have to be secondary or primary. So I understand because they're supports, they're not going to be good or not going to be amazing. Like they're good enough, but I don't know. I want them to be able to like, you know, run the table, but they're not.
Well, what's really good about them, and I noticed all the Clone Boys have, is Brother in Arms, which gives you steadfast, and that's
Mhm.
huge for this game because that means you can't shove them off the point, and that like shoving is so important in this game. Like I'm starting to learn how important shove is, and these Clone Boys just nope. Um, what about Grievous? What do you think of Grievous and all that stuff?
I thought Grievous was kind of a glass cannon. I think he's going to die a lot.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a glass cannon, but I kind of like it because it's on point with this theme.
That's cool.
Yeah, he wants to fight everybody but primaries, it seems like. And then yeah, the B2s came out. I would say I'm a little underwhelmed, but in the sense that I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like the same way you said commandos for
Yeah.
their support characters, right?
I actually like the way that they remind me very much of what they are in Legion. Like, hey, we hit a little harder than B1s. We're a little tougher than B1s. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
they're
Yeah.
not actually tougher than B1s. B1s are
But they have
nine.
protection or
That's
whatever.
true. True. They do have the protection.
It's armor 1, but for Shatterpoint.
Yeah. Well, B1s get protection if they're on the point.
That's true.
But yeah, they seem fun. I just don't like that they're both their abilities. You have to use a force power.
Yeah, that's not great.
You don't want to use them on B1s. Kraken looks identical to Kalani, just one or two changes of abilities, which I feel like Kalani still is better.
I think so too. I was kind of disappointed that they were that similar.
Yeah, me too. But
Still going to be a cool pack though, because I want to run B1s and B2s. Like B1s
yeah.
at Magna Guard seems fun, but
Mm.
B1s and B2s is where it's at.
Oh yeah, especially with Kalani, the onslaught of just firing is going to be great. Let's see what else they didn't. That's all they announced. But more importantly, guys, they announced a point update, and that's what we're going to be going over right now. So I figured how we do this is we'll start with each faction. We'll start with Empire, and then we'll go over it, and then we'll discuss it, and then you guys give me an overall letter grade or number grade. What do you guys want to do?
Let's go letter. Letter is dramatic.
Okay, all right. So we'll go over one on one, and you guys give me your thoughts. Empire, Callus got dropped 5 points. Good or bad?
Love it.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah. I'm also gonna throw in his bow rifle dropped 10 points, which I
Which
love.
is excellent. That I like.
Yeah.
I like more than just Callus going down. Because yeah,
Well,
that's great.
with Callus getting some points, love and everything, I feel like there's a list for Krennic and him in it.
There's always been a list for Krennic and Callus. Now you just get more stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now double cunning, you're always gonna go first. You know, it's pretty. I see like there's like something there that could be good. E-Webs drop 5. You think it's enough?
They're still not gonna get taken.
I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna run the what's it called, the battle force, the Imperial Remnant. I'm gonna take 2 of them for 100 points, and they're gonna have free aims the whole game. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I like it. They're only 50 points. They're cheaper than bikes or not bikes, barks.
They're cheaper than a core with a heavy. Like they're really
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah. So yeah, and then moving on to Veers -5.
I don't know if he needed that. I mean, I think it's fine because I think support commanders probably all need to come down a little bit, but I don't think like he was
You're just
already the best support commander in my mind. But
you're just making his binocs 3 points because you're always gonna take
Yeah.
the binocs
Yeah.
on him. That's all
Yeah.
you're doing.
For sure.
Agreed. Imperial officer goes up 5 points.
I like it. Imperial officer is taking too much. I'd rather named characters.
What's
They
that?
just don't want it being the little spare tax. That's all they were really, were taxes for lists that didn't really care but needed a commander. And
Yeah.
it did just enough to help something. So it is what it is.
Definitely a good change.
I think it burns double bounty a little bit though, because double bounty doesn't want command cards from the commander. And so then you're going to take the generic anyways, because you want all those command card slots for your command cards. And so then they'll take them and just take a 5-point tax on an already mediocre list. But, you know, it is what it is. I still think it's a good change overall.
Storm HRUs go up 10 points.
It's not going to make a difference.
Did they go up 10 points?
They went up 10
They went,
points.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not somebody
They were
in
30
Discord,
and they went up to 40.
So somebody in
Oof.
Discord showed the bare bones list with just the essentials of your standard Blizzard Force list with Op Vader and all that, and it was at 751 points. So even if you add some of the things that you feel are essential, you're still only racking up an extra 30 points. You're still getting 15 to 20 points on a bid.
Well, I
So-
mean, at least you lose your emergency transponders, which
is a
nice.
big deal for the bikes, because it means
Mhm.
the bikes die after they do their thing the first time instead of getting one extra life.
But
Yeah.
even then, you get a competitive bid. So even if you take the transponders, you still get a competitive bid.
Well,
It's
this
not
just
as
cut
deep. It's
this
not
cut
as
25
deep.
points out of the list. Like that's gotta hit something, right?
Somebody no. If you go to the Discord chat, they already broke it down, did the math and everything. All that
Yeah,
happened
but if you
essentially.
take their list and then add 25 points, that's got to be a stronger version.
All they did was they did the Rec Shuffle. So when Arcstar and Rexstar got nerfed, people just move shit around, and it's still just as effective. That's essentially what happened. They're just not
What did they
guaranteed.
change?
They're not guaranteed their bid. I have to send you the picture in the chat.
So what is,
I
after all the
skimmed
points
over
changes,
it.
it's like 30 points because
So
Vader's more expensive.
let me
Vader's still
see.
the same, isn't he?
Well, he needs his choke, so
Oh,
he's
yeah.
more expensive, and then the officer's more
So
expensive,
here's
and
the
the HRU's
list.
up.
Here's the
Yeah.
list. Not the comment was not sure it's enough for Blizzard. They had 49 points of 49 flex points, and the bare bones was Vader with force choke, force push, the Imperial officer, 2 snow troopers, 2 HRUs with the HRU setup, and 4 speeder bikes. That's the 10-act normal Blizzard list, and that point total is at 750 points. Even if
Yeah.
you put 4 transponders on the bikes, you're basically you keep the transponders on the bikes and everything else is just depending on how you feel. So
Yeah, you might be
literally
right. It might not
all
be
they
enough.
no,
We'll
it's
have to
not.
see.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's like I said, being from the Rex over OP clone ball meta, like when they got nerfed the first time and everybody was like, "Oh, this is terrible." All the Rexstar players did was just move stuff around and they created Arcstar. And then Arcstar started running the table. You're not gonna see a beneficial change to Blizzard Force until another errata. It's gonna be like Rexstar. It's gonna take time. In the regular Discord and in competitive chat, they still have the Imperial rankings as Blizzard Force 1A, option 1A, and Dark Troopers option 1B. So nothing's changed. You're just moving stuff around.
Well, but it's closer, right? If I get a 25
Mm.
point advantage on my opponent, it's going to be a closer game. Like you might
If you
still
add
win and you
25
might still have an edge, but
but if you
25
have
points is not nothing.
at 751, I mean, even if you say you add 25 points, they still have a 20 plus point bid. The whole problem with Blizzard is you get a lot of good stuff and a fat bid until you get them down to, let's say, so like comparison, if you look at Rob's list, which has been giving us most people some trouble.
Like you
His
said, most
list-
people are like, not me.
his list-
Cody shoots those boys down.
I melted him. Anyways, Rob doesn't mind taking red. Like we've had this discussion. He does not mind taking red. That's just how flexible dark troopers are.
Right.
With the points changes, he just lost his bid because it took him up to 800. He didn't lose anything. His guard, he still has guardian, still has protector, still has all that stuff, and he's already come to.
I
He's
don't
But I think the
know.
already.
biggest threat in the
He's
meta was the
he's
double darks, not the
Well,
single
yeah,
darks.
let me get there first. Let me get there first.
okay.
So the Dewback Flame down 5 points. I'm
Good
a fan of
change.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
And the Dewback RT down 5 points. Do you think you take this over the critical 2-1 though?
I
I
always
I
rank
don't think I
flame,
would.
so
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the RT, I don't know what the RT needs. I mean, it's good to shoot range 4, but I feel like when you run dudes, you just want to march them in there.
Kind of. Yeah.
Now the Dark Trooper frag launcher goes up 5 points. Good change. Good change. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
And then I want to note here, it did not say Dark Trooper Assault Cannon. It said Death Trooper Assault
it was
Cannon.
an error. It was
So
an error.
spoiler
No, it's an
alert.
upcoming release that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
gonna get nerfed.
No, in all seriousness, the Assault Cannon does go up 7 points. I like both these changes. I like that they're still playable, and you just have to pay the points to take these guys. I don't know if you need to nerf them anymore. I feel like
I would have
if
liked
we-
to see the Guardian change. That's the only
Sure.
other thing I would ask
Yeah.
for is I want the
Yeah.
Guardian change. I think that they can be Guardianed is counterintuitive to the way that they play.
Well, from what Atomic Mass Game has been saying, they errata things when they feel they need to, and seeing as they haven't really done anything drastic since they made that statement, I have a fear that they're not going to change anything because
They're not.
If I was developing a game, I probably wouldn't change anything either. But like as a player, that would be my preference.
Yeah.
It comes down to the magnitude of what's being taken. How often do you see Dark Troopers being guardianed or being protected by Palpatine? It's a very selective play style. So unless it becomes major, like every Dark Trooper list has an auto IRG, then they'll look at it. But for right now, you got a couple maniacs that are making a real pain to kill one Dark Trooper unit. Looking at you, Rob.
I agree with you, Jose. I don't think this is enough to change the current meta, which is a bummer because I always like going into a new meta. It feels like Wild Wild West. But yeah, I don't think in Rob's list, I don't think he has to sacrifice much. Well, he
He
probably
lost
does.
his bid.
He probably
No,
does.
he wouldn't. He lost his bid.
What
So
was his
he's
bid at?
12
12
points, I think.
And he's at flush 800, and he doesn't care about taking red player. So nothing really hurt him.
But I feel like okay. So gimmicky lists, I always feel need to be blue player to get that gimmick off. And if Darks is not getting the bid no more, then I think you're in a bad spot.
But
'Cause
Rob didn't care from the get go. That's what I'm saying.
do you think-
With the type of play we've talked about it. With the type of player with the way he likes playing, like we've talked about it. He doesn't care.
that doesn't mean that the gimmick is still not wanted preferred blue player, right? Like
Yeah.
No, but if he doesn't care and his bid gets taken up, like if he doesn't care about being red and all this does is crank him up
Maybe he
into
should care
red,
about being red.
who then got blown away by Cody and the Xarxes.
was he blue player in your game?
I was blue.
See, he should have cared about being red.
Exactly.
100% of Cody wins from blue player position.
Hey, Cody and blue player position is 3-1, so I'm not complaining.
That's always been my stance in this game is if you're running a gimmicky list, you need a blue player. And if you're running a list that's overall like can cover most things, then you don't care. You just want to be red player.
Right.
Which is the preferred way I like to build lists is I don't care. Like I just want to cover my ass on everything.
But he's just such an unconventional player. Like I've seen his like list archetypes, and I'm like, I've been playing this game since it came out. I've never thought about running the things that he runs the way he runs them, and I think that's what helps him give other players like a kind of a hard time is because you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, I've seen some of his remnant lists. I'm like, I would have never thought to do any of this. You know, so that's just Rob's edge. That's the way he plays, and it works for him. So
Yeah, it's Revenant list. I saw him play and it looks pretty good. Pretty solid. I think Remnant Battle Force is underrated right now. I think it's a really good list that people are just overshadowed by Dark and Blizzard.
Yeah.
All right. So overall, Empire, what grade do you guys give it?
I'm gonna give it a B. I think I agreed with every direction they took every character. I would have probably liked to see more extreme stuff, but that's also my mentality, like what you were saying, where I want you to just say, "Oh, you want to take you want to take 4 speeder bikes? Well, now speeder bikes are 85 points. Do you still want 4 speeder bikes?" And they didn't do that, so it's just not my preferred style of errata.
What about you, Jose?
Just a D. It's underwhelming. Just it's not enough.
Ooh.
That's
It's
a
not
harsh
enough.
letter
Like
grade. My
no, I don't
goodness,
care. I'll be harsh. Like I'll be harsh. Like I
it's
just
not even
it's not.
passing.
So here's the thing. Like for me
In high
when
school,
it
it
comes
was
to
back in the day.
now everybody passes. Doesn't matter if they pass. No. So my thing with the ratas is you need if there is a struggling unit, it needs to be brought up. If there is a terror on that specific side, it needs to be brought down. There was not enough. There was not enough in it, in my opinion, to make things more playable in terms of getting taken more. Eh, like, like, who cares if Veers went down X amount of points? I hardly see Veers anyways. And who cares if the E-webs went down? When's the last time in our meta? When's the last time you seen an E-web?
Every time I
Um,
look at my shelf of shame, there it
oh my
is.
god! So it's great
But
plastic. So it's
can
not
you
used.
make E-webs great
Long shot,
by just lowering the
Long
point?
shot.
long shot.
Not changing anything, not eradicating anything. Because like I don't think that's AMG's way.
No, yeah, they're probably
yeah.
not going to.
So like
No,
points wise, you think there's a number that can change it to where you take it?
38.
nope.
Bring them down to where the mortar's at.
Whoa.
I
I
think
think
honestly, 50 is not bad. I think
Yeah.
they might find their way into some list for me because 50 is not much more than 44. Naked core or
But they're
that.
so
I think I would
static.
take that.
They're so static in a range for multi-thousand dice meta.
But here's the
And
benefit.
Well, but so is a core unit. A core unit is just going to die. So then they're just mostly going to sit on the back point and have slightly more firepower than a core. I don't think
but see
that's
the
terrible.
reason the current small, I'm not counting the FD. The reason the current emplacement troopers are in that 38, 34 range is they're essentially attacks onto a better unit. I don't if you're gonna bring the UWeb down and be like it has to be 38 points, then maybe those other emplacements need to come down.
Well, here's my
'Cause
thing about the E-Web
it's
is that
attacks.
I feel like E-Web at 50 points is in a good spot because E-Web's a hard unit to play because you can't just put it out there. You have to give your opponent multiple options to shoot at. So that way, if it shoots the E-Web, your darts are going in. If it shoots the dart, cool, your E-Webs get shot off. And I feel like that's a lot of people
I'm just
struggle.
gonna shoot the darts at range 4 with impact and not even worry about the E-webs.
Cool. E-Web's gonna move up, take a standby, it's got Sentinel. Like there are counter plays.
And then I'll shoot it with Echo.
Not if there's line of sight blockers, right? Like
And no, we went over this. LVO, remember? Here's the building, here's their silhouette.
That's true.
It
Their
doesn't
silhouette is
matter.
super tall now.
Yeah,
it
you
is super
can't.
tall. Yeah,
It's
that
I'm
is
telling you.
okay. The silhouette thing does need to change. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
that's the one
Yeah,
thing.
you
And
need
they can
to-
change that. That's just a rules change.
But they're not gonna.
not
They're
even really
not
an errata.
gonna. They're not gonna.
They
Like I said,
should.
it's not like we didn't even so even taking that in that talk right now, we didn't even mention the Silks. None of us thought. I think about it because I'm traumatized for that guy at LVO that was next to me that got bullshitted with the unit that couldn't be seen except I saw his plastic. You toss in all that, they're not playable, dude. They're not.
I did that to
All right.
Nick.
I'm making my Imperial Remnant, and they're gonna kill Cody. I did it with Bounty Hunters. I could do it with E-Webs.
When I played Nick, he was running Mark IIs, and he ran his Mark II behind a building because I was shooting at it.
And you said, "Can you silhouette that?"
And no, I was just like, oh man, I can't shoot it. And then I was just like, dang it. And then I went, wait, this silhouette's taller, and you could see in his face just some disappointment, just like,
Yep.
Yeah,
It's so stupid.
It's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad.
So no, it's a D.
I do agree with Daniel though. I think E-Webs in Imperial Remnant is solid choice. Because you get free tokens, and that's always a good thing. And then Dark Troopers are there, so yeah.
I feel like E-Webs also operate independently pretty well.
Yeah.
They can hold down a back point, and if they're getting a free aim, it'll be kind of rough to charge them.
You challenged us to bring Dooku, so now in July you bring E-Webs to the World's End.
Oh, I will.
You bring
I
E-Webs
will.
to the World Event.
I'm bringing 2 of them.
That's the next tournament.
I need to go buy another E-Web.
Okay. So I wanted to give it a C, but I kind of agree with Jose. I think it's a B.
Whoa.
Boo.
You guys are such
Boo.
haters.
No, hold on. It's because I like the changes that they did subtract, but I don't think it was enough nerf to change the meta, and that's what I really wanted. It was the meta change because
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been in this game since the Clone Wars dropped and the Arcs, what's it called? Arc Star meta
Arc Star and Arc Star.
was kind of lame, and then the
It
meta I was in where it was what was just I think my meta was the Wild West when I won LVO.
Your
And then-
meta was the spider spam.
And I think that was
Yeah.
the best meta because then we went into Dark Troopers and Blizzard Force, and now it just feels like Arc Star all over again. It's just like, man, I gotta tailor my list to it. All right, guys, moving on.
Wah, wah, wah.
Rebels, Lando down 10 points.
It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, give it another 10.
You guys don't think so? No?
I mean, he just doesn't do anything better than anybody else.
Continue.
And how much Lando are we seeing? You think 10 points is gonna make you put him on the table when you have better options?
He needs the
Not to
Boba Fett
mention-
treatment where he gets dice added to his gun.
Not to mention, if we're just to jump the gun a little bit here, you Lando at -10, and just I'm jumping a little bit only because I feel like it's relevant. Lando at -10, and now you got Cassian Andor with his free gun.
Now that's the good
So,
stuff.
No, Lando can sit.
I know which
Well,
one's
hold
my
on, hold on.
commander. and it ain't Lando.
And both can infiltrate.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I think Lando is a character that you need to take with somebody else.
You
I
do.
don't think he operates alone.
He doesn't.
Yeah. So like,
But
I
there's
feel
so
like,
many better combos.
That's kind of where I'm sitting.
Cassian, OP
oh
Luke.
man, if I had Rebels, I'd play him. I just want
Bro,
to
you
see.
can use mine together.
Yeah, just borrow him.
I mean, he just, I don't know. I feel so indifferent on this one because I just don't have enough experience to make a
Okay,
a
so let's
solid
do
like
this.
accusation.
Let's do a thought process. Here's just a thought experiment. Okay. Lando and OP Luke, we'll just say those two are together. Is there anybody else that you would how can I phrase it? I'm trying to phrase it away. So no, let's just say OP Luke and you have Lando. Okay, you're telling me that there's no other commander that you'd rather have with OP Luke than Lando?
Well, but you could go full hero hammer. Go
Mhm.
Lando, Cassian, Op Luke, and K2. And then you infiltrate. And so you've got Lando as your commander, and the other three are all operatives. That actually could be interesting. It's something I'm throwing around.
Yeah, and on top of that,
But I don't think it's very good.
I
I
think
think Lando's the
exactly.
weak link of that group.
I think Lando works really well with OP Luke because it's ace in the hole, or ace up your sleeve card.
It is nice.
Yeah. So like I feel like there's plays there that you could make. It's just hard competitive wise because like I always look at lists as a fun point before I do competitive.
Mhm.
And then competitive gets daunting, and I feel like that's not where they want this game to go. But we'll see.
No, they state these are competitive points changes. So if they were for fun changes, it would say at home beer and pretzels changes. These are
Well-
literally stated as competitive changes.
Where?
Lando would have to get so cheap to be
On
competitive,
this-
though, because he just doesn't bring much to the table.
It literally says right here
Where? I want to see
on
it.
the top. On the
Yeah.
top, it says points adjustments. For competitive tournament play, players should use the adjusted points values listed below instead of the values printed on the cards. The printed points the printed points values on the cards can be used for non-tournament play. So if you want to
Oh,
have fun,
We're gonna
use
have a
the old
casual
points.
event at the store, and we're
It's
all
gonna
just
be
gonna play
wild.
original points.
Oh,
It's gonna be a
no.
blast. Whatever was printed on the card, that's what you're
That's
playing.
what you do. That would be a good idea, though.
Yeah, I would play that.
There's
I'd
the
do
Wild
that
Wild
too,
West you want,
yeah.
I
JR.
would not do 3
That-
rounds of it, but I would play 1 round of that tournament.
No, you'd have to do 3.
Now you know what that means? The force choke is back, baby. And
Oh,
burst
God.
speed. All right. Leia, 5 points. -5 points, I mean.
Yeah, I like this change.
I like it. Same as Lando. You don't see her often enough to have it make a difference.
I kind of would have liked to see the -10 on her. I think that would put her in a more competitive place.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That puts her at what? What's her points total? At like, what is she
Dirt
right now?
cheap.
80?
Good point. What is she
It
at?
puts her a little above the neutral commander, right? Because my thing is you can't bring her down so much to where you might as well just take her over the no name
She's
commander.
75 now.
Yeah, see, I don't hate that though. I
Yeah.
kind of would rather the fake commanders just go away, and you just have people like Leia get super cheap.
Yeah.
I think it's more thematic and fun.
That's too much bang for your buck.
Commander Luke -10. Is it enough?
Nope,
Eh,
you're still gonna take OP. It's
I
good for Echo. It's good for Echo Base because
yeah, it
Echo
is.
Base takes that Farm Boy Luke.
Yeah.
So that's a steal for them.
The problem is that he just doesn't have any recovered cards, which means that his force powers are once a game, unless you spend actions to bring him back, and he doesn't get any free actions. So it's just kind of, I don't know.
Commander Vader or OP Vader?
What do you mean?
Which one do you prefer?
I'll take Convader all day.
I enjoy Convader more, but I think Op Vader is stronger. If I
That's
could only
my.
blitz build with one.
I hope they don't keep doing this in this game because I think OP. I think the new Luke and the new Vader are problematic because now you have two of the same units in this game in the same faction that you would prefer one over the other. Like I like what they did with Maul and Boba. They're only be able to use in certain factions. It gives you options to run them. But yeah, I think what they did with Vader and Luke is a bad idea because you're always going to prefer OP Luke over Commander Luke, and there's nothing they could do about it. Nothing. What could they do?
That's more of a
Come out
rebel
with some
problem
really
because
broken
it's.
operatives and be like, well, I need my operative slot for these guys.
I think it could be a really.
It's not how you fix it.
That is how you fix it. Release stronger stuff. That's what rebels need, a new release. Give me something strong.
Oh,
I just think
man.
that problem is bigger in Rebels because the night and day difference between OP Luke and Com Luke is ridiculous. At least with OP Vader and Com Vader, like there's a debate to be had, and it comes down to your preference. Talk to any Rebel player who owns Com Luke and OP Luke and ask them any day tournament fun play. What Luke are you taking? It's always OP Luke.
Well, the advantage
Yeah.
now Commander Luke has is that you can take more stuff with him. And all you really need is a really good first push with one turn. You don't need to keep it fresh in it.
You
It's
usually
just
need at least
nice.
two because you want one to get in and then one for objective play.
Sure, but I mean, if you can take most stuff that could be cannon fodder, like then you just need one good opportunity just to tackle something down, and then
What
it can
about giving Luke
time.
block? Giving Com Luke block.
No,
So you say
if
just
I
the block.
can't have block, no one can. No, they just need to reverse that change. That's the stupidest change they ever did. I
It
hate
was
that one.
weird.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Mandalorian Resistance. -4 isn't enough.
Not enough.
No.
I
This
don't know why you
this
guys
is the
hate on
funniest
it.
change because -4 is like it's not terrible, right? But they gave the Mandalorian Resistance, clearly the inferior Mandalorian unit, a -4. And then the Clan Ren, the stronger Mandalorian unit, they made -12. Like what?
Did they make -12?
Well, it's
No, it's
-4, and then it's mandatory
-4.
two other units are both -4.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
It's
right.
down 12.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
like that was already the better unit.
well, okay. I like the Mandalorian Resistance, and if I had them, I'd play them because that's nimble on them, and you could take. I think you could take emergency.
I think to solve the Mandalorian resistance problem, and Jared's gonna disagree with me wholeheartedly, is keep Clan Ren with their -12 points. That's fine, but they have the hit points to chunk a lot of missed. Like if you misplay with Clan Ren, there's a chance you're okay.
Yeah.
You misplay with regular resistance, you're effed out the gate. So
Yep.
I think what they should do is just for your regular Mandalorian resistance, either A, add an extra mini, or B, make the resistance 2 wounds apiece.
Well, let's not forget that their rockets went down 3 points. That's huge. So
It's
you
so
get
bad.
like I feel like people are underestimating the Alpha Strike on turn 1.
It is good.
Yeah, 4 reds, 3 squads. That's what 12 dice. That's pretty good. Blast.
Oh,
Look,
you're
it's
gonna
white
take 3
saves.
squads of those guys? What are you gonna do after turn 1?
You hide.
And that puts them in danger still because you got to get into range 4.
Yeah.
The game right now is range 4, so yeah, So when we did the Bakersfield event, the dude that played you played him, the guy that had the Mando Mania, he walked all those units up and was like rockets, and I'm like, cool. HRT fire support RPS and blew most of them off the board. So it's like,
That's what's hard is like one or two. You're just so dependent on those surging red saves. Like if they're
yeah,
great, you'll probably win, but they're not usually great.
Can you
yeah.
take
For some reason,
can you
Mandos
take
roll
3 of
really
them?
bad.
Like, can you fight off 3 of them effectively?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what I did in the last tournament is I fought 2 and a better version, Clan Ren.
I did too.
No, you had to have 3 in the list.
Oh, my bad. He should have subbed
that-
out Clan Ren, the very strong Mandalorian unit that starts with a free dodge, and instead take a more.
Oh,
No.
I can't wait to play. I can't wait for Jose's birthday party because I got a list that I want to try. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, but let me cover everything else. We kind of already went over most of it. Clan Ren went down 4, it's the base unit. And then the Rockets went down 4. Tristan Ren and Ursa Ren also went down 4. And the Beskar duelist went down 4. I just think you guys are sleeping on it. I think
I guess they did go down 8.
yeah, like don't get me wrong, super competitive, maybe not. But fun, the fun factor went up for sure.
Oh yeah.
Then you don't get to.
I always
if you-
think they've
if
been
you-
fun though. I've run them
If
for
you're looking
fun.
for fun, you don't get to use these points, Jerry. You got to use the card stock. That's what AMG says.
Listen, man, listen. I just think like there's like
They should have given the Bascad duelist charge. Would have been done.
well,
That at least gives you a fighting
my
chance.
thing is like being the top tier competitive player that you want to be. I don't think that's a lot of fun. I feel like you run a list that you want to have fun with, and maybe you get to the top. Who knows? You know, like I just don't like running the same list over and over and fighting it over and over again. It's just boring at that point.
Yeah.
I think you can be competitive with any list as long as you take the time to dial it in.
Well, yeah.
Like I don't know, like I get the game has its ebbs and flows, and I know that if you combine, if you take like Blizzard Force for instance, and then you put that against my Cody list, there's like a 99.99999% chance I'm gonna lose. I got that, but that's just on paper. When it comes down to a Blizzard player who's only had 20 rounds and I've been doing nothing but playing my Cody list, it gives me an edge in almost knowing what I got to do and how to do it and how to manipulate it. So I think you can take what's fun. You just got to know when and how to use your list. Like rushing up Mandos for an Alpha Strike against a White Save army, cool. I'll give it to you. If you're going to Alpha Strike White Save armor, cool. That's awesome. But I think it's more risky when you go at like a red save army when to do that alpha. I think you just gotta kind of weigh it in. I mean, you could still. I mean, just because it's an alpha doesn't mean you need to go with them right away. Yeah, it sucks because that's when your most opportune shots are, but you can always get that shot at the back end.
Okay, well, with that being said, for our next unit, I'm throwing this in your face in your Cody's list with the Mandalorian resistance. Who do you shoot first? And that's going to be the Tauntauns at -5.
You shoot the Tauntauns.
Okay, my Mando's getting it.
Okay, it's fine. I'm shooting the Tauntauns. The Tauntauns got more wiggle room. You want to smash Clan Ren into me? That's cool. You have to withdraw. You have to do whatever. The Tauntaun can just leave. Motherfucker, he's not leaving. I'm killing him before he gets to me. I'll deal with engaging Mandos and fist fights over that.
Well, what do you guys think? Was it enough to run Tauntauns?
Tauntauns are not. The dice pools are too big for Tauntauns.
Yeah, I think Tauntauns struggle with the big dice pools. I think what this does is it makes a 4 Tauntaun Echo-based defenders list very valid.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan's gonna fucking be pumped
Yeah.
for this update.
But I think unless you're running them like in force, I'm not sure. I think they'll just get shot.
That's
I could be wrong. I haven't run Tauntauns in a while.
That's how I feel about like most of these units, like Mandalorian Resistance, Tauntauns, E-Webs. I feel like you have to roll multiples because it's got the same problems the Staps have. If you're taking one, that's no. You take all 3, that's really good.
Yeah. 3 steps are a pain.
Yeah, so that's my opinion on these units. You got to take them in groups, and I think they would actually be good.
I think they could. Tauntauns, I mean, they're no joke when they get in, but
yeah.
and they are very fast.
Mhm.
Fast with relentless, like there's some potential there.
Of course, Daniel already alluded to it. And a weapon -10. So it's free now.
Happy. It's
Yes.
free.
It's free.
free.
Yeah.
They should just put free. That's all they need.
Dude, and you know what's messed up is I have a fully loaded Rogue One list. Like all my units are maxed with upgrades, and I still have like a 15-point bid. You get another 10 on top of it.
25-point bid.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a bad change. Cassian probably needed some love.
No, we didn't. Cassian was fine.
I mean, you're looking at these big dice pools, right? This isn't enough to take something out. Like, I'm never scared of Cassian taking me out until like it's crucial, right? Then
Because you don't run Dark Troopers.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Daniel's scarred from Cassian last event because
just bled me dry.
That's what I'm saying. Like so when you play Cassian, you play him 1 of 2 ways. You play him in the trenches with K2 and you bob and weave, up in that close range. He's like I don't know, he's like a worse Han almost. But when you play him in sniper mode, like it doesn't, you're just making picks, and it doesn't matter because he picks up guaranteed 1 body. He might get 2. And if you're being selective with your targets, like in 2
Those are
rounds,
expensive bodies.
Cassian can rip apart and make almost any trooper unit useless. In 2 rounds, even if you're gonna waste the shot potential, say you got two strike teams on the back end, you're just gonna aim, marksman up, fire, blow them off the board.
Yeah.
You're gonna if Daniel wants to bring 2 E-webs, well, cool. I'll just pick up 50 points off the table and hope my army can do the rest. And he's a back capper at the worst, and even at his worst, he's still costing you points. Like even on a per model basis, like I would take, these large dice pools are awesome, right? Until you have 2 less dice. Like so to me, he didn't need anything. I mean, 10 points, you're just giving him.
I think this is also just Rebels are struggling, right? Rebels aren't doing well. And so I think just coming in and saying, even like their stronger people, like I think Cassian is one of their stronger people, coming in and saying, hey, he's cheaper now. It's like, oh,
I think this lets you put vigilance in somewhere. I think this lets you get a better upgrade somewhere else. Like,
I don't think he needs vigilance.
No, not for him. For someone else.
But
it just
like,
your army is stronger.
For instance, this made Nick's vigilance on Jin 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then like I said, not even for Jin, like you're basically freeing up 10 points for either a heavy upgrade or a more valuable upgrade or multi upgrades that that you can spend. In this, you can get O push is can be brought back at 2 O pushes in a list now, you're at +2 points, whereas before you had to suck that up. There's play here, and I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Cassian sitting back, he's gonna take his gun every time, no matter what. So that's a little relief right there. Is well, here he has his gun for free because he's gonna take it anyways, and now the Rebels have 10 extra points to do something with. And to be honest, Rebels will take anything they can get right now.
Okay, so next we got is the MK2 land speeder going down 5. The RPS 6 gunner land speeder goes down 5. The Ion land speeder goes down 6. And I think the SX21, is that the land speeder too?
No, I think that's the bus, isn't it?
No.
Or is that not? No, that's the AA5. Sorry.
That's a shotgun, I think.
Oh yeah. I know.
That's like a rebel trooper.
Yeah, it's a rebel trooper. All right, so not that one. No, it is. But what I mentioned about all the land speeder, what do you guys think? Is that enough?
It's the shotgun for the Rebels.
Yeah.
I think it's a good change. I don't know if it'll be enough. I'm never that afraid of the land speeder, but this will make it cheaper, so maybe.
I'm more afraid of what's in the land speeder than the land speeder itself. So
that's what I think. Like, I think this was a nice change because usually people put OP Luke in the land speeder, and now it's 5 points cheaper. I mean, running all the other guns, I think is just fun factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one is the X21, which was the Impact 2 or Impact 1.
Impact 1, range 2 shotgun, 2 red, 2 white.
It's a terrible gun.
Terrible. Yeah, there's -2. It's not enough.
It could literally cost -2, and I wouldn't take it.
Yeah. I agree with you. Just just because there's too much range 4, we need range 2 is not a thing right now, and unfortunately, until that changes, range 2 stuff shouldn't be taken. All right, Rebels. Was it enough to make them better? What do you guys think? What letter grade? Let's go with
D.
Jose. Jose D. Why?
Yeah. There's just nothing in here that's just that changes anything.
A
Like
free Cassian weapon?
I just made my bid in my list bigger. What am I gonna do with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go C. I kind of feel the same way. They needed like a core reduction or something like that. Like a heavy weapon that's being taken needed to go down.
Yeah, like your what is it? Your long gun.
Yeah,
That should have came down. I would even say the Z6 should have came.
yeah,
They targeted. So what I'm noticing with just these two alone, and I've noticed it over the course of this errata, this points errata, is they change things that nobody's really taking, and
but
I
that's
think
part of
it's to
their
try to
philosophy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah to try
that's
to
what they
get
want
it
you to
in,
do. Yeah, because
but
now you
can
have more options to list build and
yeah,
bring different lists to a big event as opposed
yeah,
to
but you have
Blizzard Force,
to
Blizzard Force, Blizzard Force.
yeah.
you have to make it competitive. Yeah, so that's the thing. You have
I,
to make something not compatible, competitively swappable for it to make sense. Like if for instance, let's just say, bikes went up 20 points. It's not gonna happen. But if the bikes go up 20 points, then maybe the the emplacement dudes look a little better.
well,
Because
see,
the Blizzard, like in Blizzard aspects, yeah, Veers went down. You're still not gonna see Blizzard as Veers ATSC. Like
see,
there's nothing, none of these things make me think that this is gonna make anything even remotely try to be like somewhat competitive. Like if
okay,
you're gonna make a
what do
change
you want them to change? Point wise,
point wise,
yeah.
I don't. I think they should have just they so what they should have did was they should have took down all the heavy, all the like I'm trying to say this.
No, you good.
So, for instance, Blizzard Force.
Well, no, I want
Yeah,
Rebels.
this is the Rebels
I just
changes.
Oh,
want
so for
Rebels.
Rebels,
Yeah, I'm just talking about
for
Rebels.
Rebels,
Like,
you gotta. So here's the thing. So in comparison, why nerf the SX21? That's never going to see table time. That's a horrible option. And think just because it's minus 2 points, somebody's going to be dumb enough to take it.
well, so here's
When
my
if
thing.
you were to, are you more so? But if you were to take 2 points off of the Z6, or take 2 points off of any other weapon that they have, like Daniel just said, even if it was minus points, I wouldn't, like, completely
Right,
not against
right.
me. I wouldn't take it.
But
So
here's the thing.
why are you investing in something that's a non factor? That was a waste. That was wasted time, in my opinion.
I don't think it was a waste of time. And here's why I don't think it's a waste of time. It's because, like, a lot of people focus on a certain iconic character or play style in a game, and that's what they usually go to. Like, for me, Force users, the nerf to Force choke is huge for me, right? And I feel like
Is that going to stop you from taking a
probably
force user?
am I? I don't know. I don't know. It's just
But
like,
that's my point. This thing right
well,
here,
no. So stopping from taking Force choke, is it gonna stop me taking Force users? No. But here's the thing: is this gives people who like the Mandalorians opportunity to play them now. The land speeder, they might like it, and they might put Commander Luke in it because they like the whole Tatooine thing. Like, I like these changes because it's in the right direction for Rebels because people it's different play styles for them. I understand they didn't nerf the core. I don't know if you necessarily need to nerf the core. Like, my whole big thing is like nerf the range 4 stuff, and then you will see this more play style. But in my opinion, I give this a C plus, teetering B, because this is the right direction, and these are definitely characters people love and want to play, and you could definitely make lists with them in mind. Ryan is a good example of when I faced his Echo base. Like, this is huge for his Echo base, and
Hmm.
he just played it because that's what he wanted to play.
Yeah. I think I also just really wanted to see some Wookiee love, and there was none. So that made me really sad.
Well, what do you want them to change about the Wookiees?
They need to get cheaper.
You think so?
Yeah. They lost scale. It's so hard for them to get anywhere now. They
I
need to
just
be
think
cheaper.
I just think they need to change scale back. Like, that's
Yeah, but
just
they're not going to do
No,
that. So
they're
barring
not gonna
that,
do
I
that.
need like a 10-point discount. Also, they like all the upgrades to put on a Wookiee, the Wookiees are so expensive now
Yeah.
compared to like other comparable special forces units.
So so I get the whole fun aspect of it. I agree with you that to a T Legion should be fun, but here's the thing. These points adjustments are not made for fun. They're literally competitive.
Mm,
It says it in there.
no,
Well,
no,
they're
no.
trying to bring
Competitive.
other stuff into the competitive
Yes,
sphere.
I
Yeah.
get that. Then
Yeah.
I'm getting to that. So they're bringing other stuff in the competitive environment. But the thing is, none of this stuff is. If it's going to be a lunatic that takes it.
I got
None of
money that you'll see Tauntauns at the next tournament.
Okay, that's fine.
I've got
No,
money on
I'm
it.
not saying Tauntauns. Okay, are you gonna see? You're telling me you're gonna see Commander Luke?
You might.
Maybe
My brother
because of
will
Echo
take him.
Base, right? Because of Echo
My
Base.
brother loves Commander
But
Luke for some reason.
but you're not gonna. A lot of the stuff isn't competitively viable right now. Tauntauns, I will
Tauntauns and
never
Clan
bet.
Ren.
I will hold on. I will never bet. I will never bet that Tauntauns will never be at an event as long as Ryan Sawaski's there. He's taking Tauntauns. Okay. Clan Ren is the only form of Mando that you normally see, and you see with Sabine. You don't really see the Mandalorian resistance. And if you do, once again, it's a maniac trying to prove something. A lot of these things, they don't when's the lot Leia? We're not what I
But Leia
haven't seen
might find
Leia.
her way. 5 points discount. She might find her way into some lists.
She's been knocked back a few pegs already from where she was. And it's like we're gonna have another Jin situation. She's just gonna keep getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and people are just still not gonna take it because there's better options. That I see Leia being so here's my hot take. Here's my hot take. This Leia minus points is because she's in the Ewok battle force. It's a buff for the Ewok battle force. Same thing with Commander Luke. I mean, I don't like I said none of the
They're gonna put OP
and
Luke if anything.
nothing on this. Like we don't see Lando in competitive events really. We don't see Leia. We don't
But
see
that's the point. That's why
Han
they're getting
Luke.
such steep discounts. It's because we don't
But you're
see them and
still
they want
okay.
to see them.
So Commander Luke at 10 points. You're telling me you're gonna take Commander Luke over
Who
OP
was
Luke
the
if you
people's
need
champ at the World Championship?
Lila, and she got screwed too.
Who was the people's champ at LVO?
Grant, he got screwed too.
So here's the thing: is they made a list that was not conventional and that was super fun, and they made it work because they put in the time and made the reps
Vader.
into it.
No. BSE were always competitive. BSE was just never taken in that capacity because nobody thought to do that. Same thing with Vader. Same thing with Palp. They've had their competitive shine.
Hold on. Let me just understand what you're saying right now. You're saying you really thought a 6 activation list was going to go as far as it did?
No, what I'm saying is,
Okay.
what I'm
So
saying is,
what?
no, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, Vader and Palp have history of competitive play. So even when we were looking at that list, we didn't understand it, but I remember clearly saying something's up with this list. I specifically said it in the car. You don't take this list without something being there. We didn't know what it was, but everybody sure knew after day one. And that's very different than somebody taking a 6 activation list with 3 Dark Troopers and 3 DTs and Krennic. That's different. I'm just saying
It was
that
so
when you look at all these things right here, like I said, Lando and Leia, as far as we go when it comes to commanders and rebels, there's better options. Mandalorian Resistance, we rarely see because you're going to take Clan Ren and Sabine only. Tauntauns, yeah, they'll be there. Andor, you see Andor all the time. Mando Jetpack Rocket, you see those here and there. Mark II Land Speeder, yes, you see it here and there, but it's never taken with any guns or anything like that. The SX-21, you've never seen it. Name one event you've been to, JR, that you've seen the shotgun on a rebel. It's my whole point is
we can agree that this is the right step in the right direction.
no, it's not.
You don't think this is the right direction?
No, here's a right step in the direction.
Uh-huh.
Here's a right step in the direction. Replace the XS-21 with the Z6. Replace the Beskar Duelist with the CM-901. Leave Ursa, leave Tristan, the Land Speeder. Switch those out for fuck that. They stay. They're not gonna make a difference. Andor weapon didn't need to happen. The Tauntauns, they're being taken anyways. The Ren base unit, I can live with that. Resistance, trash. And nobody's taking Luke, nobody's taking Leia, nobody's taking Lando. Like, here's how you swap.
Hold on.
Wait, Daniel.
Daniel's brother's taking Commander Luke. You're wrong, sir.
Daniel, So what would you rather see? Would you rather seen the Mandos get love, or would you rather seen the Wookiees get love?
That's his
Well,
preference,
I
though.
did want Clan Ren to come down. Actually, I mostly wanted Sabine, but it's kind of the same thing because you usually
Would
take a
you okay? So who's better, Wookiees or Clan Ren?
That's-
with these 12 points changes, definitely Clan Ren.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not even close.
No.
All right.
Listen,
You're gonna take a squad of Wookiees. I'll take Clan Ren plus whatever I can afford with the extra points, and we'll just do just those two on a
Just a
battlefield.
jousting match.
Just a jousting match. I won't even take Sabine. We'll just see what happens.
I think this is a step in the right direction. I think
This is wasted space.
I want to see a meta where there's just all kinds of different lists. Like the meta that when I won, the CIS, their lists were all over the place, and that was
Mhm.
fun. And that's
But
what
I would
want
like
to
to
see.
see
JS has
some
always
changes
been
that
like that, though.
will change list building because they only really touched heroes or like one-offs. I would have preferred if they did something with like fleet troopers. You don't see fleet troopers very much.
So
Give them a little bit of a discount. Take some of the heavy weapons down on rebels, some of the ones that are actually competitive. I would have liked to see some additional stuff. I do like the changes they made, but I just want more because I think the
So
rebels are in a
fleets-
worse spot.
fleets do see table time at competitive events, but though here's the thing, JR's gonna. I've always argued this point with JR, and I finally have to cave. The perfect army right now in terms of viability is
Yeah,
CIS.
I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna clip
So
this.
here's
That's
the
right.
thing.
That's right.
The CIS blueprint is what should be the blueprint going forward. There's things that have their odds and ends, but the entire army is so interchangeable. It's fucking maddening. At this point, the only thing that you're not seeing, and once again, it's gonna hurt my soul to say this, Decas.
Oh, I was gonna say
Wow.
Grievous, but yeah, Dekas too. I
No,
guess.
Grievous. I think Grievous in the right hands could be a fucking
Well, he's
monster.
definitely got a lot better now.
So, but I'm just saying, like the framework of that is where each I think they should strive for. There's there's very few things you look at CAS and you're like, yeah, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that because X. You look at everything CS and you're like, damn, I could take this, but I could take this.
Yeah.
I like me an AAT, but I could take a snail with Ion.
I just
Hold
built
up.
my snail.
You,
So
you know what I
beautiful.
mean?
It
Like when you look at Empire, it's like, huh, I could take this, or I could take Blizzard
Yeah.
Force and be good the rest of the event. When you
I
look
think
at
Empire
Rebels,
has some good options too. Honestly, I
but
think
not as
I think Remnant's
they're
very
getting
strong.
there.
Mhm.
They're getting there.
I honestly think that Double Bounty, Double Bounty won Worlds, so I guess it's not a big revelation to people. But I think Double Bounty was really strong too, and this hurt it a
I
little
think
bit.
that Boba change makes Luke's list illegal now.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're
no, you're fine.
tangenting. I'm
You're
sorry.
fine.
I'm just a.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Is get out. That's why you're dedicated this episode. We're gonna move on.
JR,
to
you want to buy Rebels? No I'm kidding.
Wait, JR, what was your letter grade for Rebels?
C plus.
C plus. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So moving on to CIS, since we've been talking about it. BX, the full squad, -4. I like that.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
didn't know I wanted it, but I'm
You gotta
happy it's
you
here.
gotta combine that with the shields though. 'cause
Yeah, oh
now
yeah,
you
you're
take
right.
the
You're
shields
right.
at 8
You're right.
points.
BX shield are now down to -8, which I think is 5, right? No,
I think it's 10 because I think they were 18.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It's
Yeah.
10, which
I've
I
always been a
love that
fan.
change.
I think that's a great
always been
change.
a fan of full BX models with the shield.
Yeah.
This is icing on the cake, dude.
Yeah, no, I think if you take full BX, you at least usually you'll take multiple squads, but if you're taking them, you want at least one squad with the shields. Because
Honestly,
yeah, it's pretty good value because those
I-
are they shoot well and yeah.
I want them to be able to take the Vibra swords with the shields because the Vibra swords
An extra slot would be cool, honestly.
Yeah. Grievous goes down 5 points.
Whoa,
And
yeah. We'll come back to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was just gonna touch it because we talked about it. And then GG's gun is now free.
That
It
is
should've
an
been free
awesome
from the
change.
beginning.
Big
Yes.
fan.
I
I love
said
free
that last
guns. Free guns
podcast.
make me happy.
I said that
Mhm.
last podcast. Like his gun should be free.
Yes, baby.
All right, so you're gonna
on
run
board.
Grievous now. This is a 13-point discount on
I-
regular Grievous.
There's so many lists I want to run, but Grievous is always like, if you want me to run Grievous at the next event, I would. Like,
I'm thinking about putting Grievous in a snail tank. I think that's probably what I would do with him. Pop him in a snail tank because he can't get suppression. That's always his problem. But the snail tank, I think, could get him there fast enough where there's not enough shots to get him suppressed. Then he can dive in, and once he's in melee, suppression's not as big a deal.
You know what's funny is I actually agree with you. The snail take is amazing with Grievous because of how fast he can get there. And then, you have endurance on him. So at the end of the turn, you take 2 off, and the next turn, training your Jedi arts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with that. Yep, Grievous. I want to play him some more. Dooku down 10.
Oh,
Yes.
look at this A tier guy going down 10 points.
Yes.
You know what that means? AMG thinks he's garbage.
No.
That's what down
No.
10 means.
They
So-
respect him. That's what that means. They
No.
respect his
No.
power.
They tried. No. I hate to break it to you, Jared. This was like. So remember when what was it? Force push went up. Was it force push or force reflexes that went up 5 points?
Not force reflex. Not force reflexes.
So push went up 5 points, and then Obi came down 5 points. So
I
he
think
was
push was
hurting
always
you.
at 10.
No, my bad. What
No, I
upgrade
think
was
push
it?
went up 5. I think it used
Yeah,
to be
push
5.
went up 5.
What? Let me
So-
check. Let me check.
So there was an upgrade back in a few rattles ago where it's like Obi went down in points, but then his upgrade went up in
Yeah.
points. So it's just kind of like
It's always been 10.
covering that. Huh?
It's always been 10. Force push.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think it was I forgot what upgrade it was, but it's like I think it was Obi went down 10
Aggressive
points.
tactics.
Yeah. So Obi went
Oh.
down 10 points. Aggressive tactics went up 10 points, and it's like all they did was make it so there was no change to what happened right there.
Mhm.
Same thing. An upgrade later on that we're gonna get to went up to 10.
Well, let's
and
get
Grievous-
to it now because
and
I think this is the
Dooku
only
come-
force
yeah.
user. As Force choke went up 10 points or went
I
up
think-
5 points.
It went up 5 points.
Horrible change. Horrible.
It's stapled to Dooku and minus 10 points lets Dooku be unfazed by taking.
It
shots.
actually keeps him down an extra 5. He's still cheap.
Does it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still
Which
hate
means
this
he was
change.
garbage.
No, he's not.
He was for
garbage.
sure
No,
a C tier force user.
you know, you know what this really
Hot
was?
takes from Daniel.
This change was really just like AMG being like, this old man, he really needs to get around minus 10 so he can take burst of speed. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think it's also a reaction to the fact that he was very heavily affected by the force, the block and deflect changes.
Yeah. Well, let's touch on force choke since we're here. Horrible change. I hate
No,
it.
this is a great change.
They
This is
hate
correct.
force users. They
Great
hate force
change.
users. I'm saying it now.
This only affects like half of force users. It's just your force users.
Yes, that's the problem. That's
Hold
what I want everything, Daniel.
But this has been the thing that like really separated dark side force users and made them like a tier ahead of light side, which I think was kind of lame. And so, yeah, it should be expensive. It's a massive objective changing card. It shouldn't be 5 points.
I still think
5 points to drop an objective and win a game, or 5 points to get rid of your 40-point heavy.
Honestly, I low-key love it because this makes me determine if I'm going to take burst of speed or force choke now.
Yeah.
Because force choke was always stapled over burst of speed, but now it's just like, do I want them to get there sooner, or do I want to play more, cagey about it?
Yeah.
With this on top of all the other nerfs like deflect, offensive push, burst of speed. The comment I made earlier in our chat was just it turns easy mode off on force users.
Yeah.
Because all your tools are so expensive.
Easy
Now
mode
you
was
gotta
always
be-
off.
Now you got no.
Get
I
out
can
of here
burst
with
the,
that.
let me burst the speed over there, force push this guy into me, choke the box carrier, pick up the bot. No, F you, JR.
You
No.
literally burst the speed to me. Okay, you're in here. You know what? I'm just gonna back up and fire on
No,
you.
I'm saying at being on the receiving end of that combination was dumb. Let me force pull you over, choke your box carrier, freaking
Okay.
mow down your unit, claim the no.
I'm saying it right here, right now, Jose. I don't know if I can have you on anymore because AMG is listening to you and they are nerfing force users.
Okay, so here AMG. I've been saying this for a few years now. Force push to 20 points.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
be honest though. Let's be honest. It does look like AMG hates force user, but I think it's actually a conspiracy theory. You want to know why? Because they nerf force users to the ground, and that way force users are not playing in Legion. And guess where you have to go to play force users?
No.
Shatterpoint, baby. That's what
This just means
is.
all this is to me is the people who bring force users are going to be really fucking good with force users because you have
They don't
no
rank
room.
I don't know if this is going to change that much. It's really only 5 points in your entire army or 10 points if you're running double force user. Like, I think it'll change what some specific force users look like. But if someone really likes choke, I think they're going to take it. Mm-hmm.
I just mean in totality with all the other force user non-friendly nerfs that have happened. Now when I see a force user, I know this guy made sacrifices to bring this guy, and I know that he's very confident that he's eating all these points adjustments, things he can't take. I know that I might be in for a fight of my life with this person bringing because of the like I said the negatives all around the force user. So when I see a force user, I know this guy is either doesn't know what he's doing or he's bringing an A game that I probably can't stop. And if he can pull all that off and be tactical with it, I'm gonna respect it even more because, like I said, the combination I had just laid out versus speed up, choke a box, blah 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 blah, all that cheese we always dealt with. Now you got to pay to do all these things, which has been my thing with force users in general. If you're gonna have all these amazing things, I want you to pay for them. I want your force user to be 200 plus points. Because if you're gonna pay for all these things, the back end of your army is gonna be weaker, but you've made the sacrifice and there it is. You paid for all these things. I'm cool with it. Versus all the budget friendly things that they had before and getting effed by these budget friendly things on top of a strong unit. That's my take on it.
The last thing on the CISN was a super tech droid, just the no name one, went down 5 points. I think it's a good change because, like, for 5 points, you might as well just take a name one. Now you have an option.
I
But
don't
do you
really
take
think this
it?
is necessary though. I mean, I took the super tactical droid back when it was 5 points more expensive. Because
Yeah.
I think it does offer something the other two don't. It's the middle ground. And so, especially with BX commandos, like I kind of like the regular
Yeah.
tactical droid with the BX commandos.
Mhm.
So I don't know if this was really necessary, but
I agree with you that I like him with the BXs, but like it's hard because Kraken's probably better with the BXs, and then
you don't have
Solani's
any kind of
also good with the BXs.
direct.
Sure, but you don't need direct with Kraken, right? You just what's that keyword that
Order
Override.
control is still really good.
override?
I mean,
Oh no, don't get me wrong. Order control. If you want order control, you go Kalani. But if you want override, like
Can we
well,
just
but you
do-
can have override and order control. Like not
Sure.
as good of
Hold
override,
on.
but you still
Can
get
we
your
just-
order control and then a little bit of override.
Can we just be?
I'm a fan, but
I really
Can we
like the
just put this
sharpshooter
out
too.
there? Can we just put this out there? It's not going to make a difference because you're still going to have a fat bit and points to play with. That that's what it is. Like you're the 5 points is negligible because CIS wants to take a bid, they're going to take a bid. 9 times out of 10, they get a bid anyways. So I just think it's the middle ground thing. I like that, but it's not nothing to just be like it's a complete change. Like I said, you'll find the points for it and
oh
or
well.
save the
I mean,
points
it's a
on it.
discount.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
I'm saying or
yeah.
save the points on it. Like
Yeah,
it's not
I
nothing
just don't
crazy.
think I don't know if it was a necessary discount, but yeah, I think it's fine. I would have liked to
I've
see
only played against
probably
Kalani and Kraken. I've never seen a regular super tag, so I
yeah.
wouldn't know.
Overall, letter grade. What do you got, Jose?
I'm gonna give it a B
Yeah,
because
you are.
that's to me that's how you do it. It's all things that are relevant to the competitive side of things, but it answers a lot of questions when it comes to problems, general problems people had. People had an issue taking BX shields in a competitive environment because they were so expensive. Now they're 8 points cheaper. People had a problem taking Grievous because he was too expensive or blah blah blah. Now he has a free gun and his points go down, makes him more palatable. Super tactical droid, I've never seen him on the field, but it's another option that's great. And then you look at the BX full squad, that doesn't hurt you.
One thing I didn't
mean,
touch on, which we probably should, is I forgot about the Droidica. They did drop -5. I don't know if it's enough to be taken though.
They're
I'll
getting
abuse
pretty
it.
cheap. They're getting down
Yeah,
there.
I'll abuse it.
Nah, I mean they're 70 now, and Staps are 75, and the Spider, if you put some, well, you got to put a gun on them, right? Is about 75. Like it's still not enough.
It
Are
depends
they
on the play
do they
style.
block line of sight to a trooper
Yep.
or are they not tall enough?
They block line of sight to troopers and they block line of sight to
Oh,
themselves.
I don't know
But
if
it
it's
was ruled that they're
So-
tall enough because I know there was a
I don't
height
know.
question.
I don't know for sure. Because like
No,
you have to have two
ground
different heights
vehicles-
for the.
I know ground vehicles do, but I don't know if they're tall enough to
Yeah.
block the silhouette.
Especially
It's
when you go in ball
no.
mode.
No, ball mode makes you shorter.
It does make you shorter.
But I don't think that would matter because they have a silhouette now. So from what I've read and what I remember is they do provide cover to your troopers. This is the last time we talked about this. And they do provide cover to themselves. So you can stagger them and then they
Yeah,
get their
but
heavy
the
cover.
line of sight, I don't know.
Yeah, because if they block line of sight, I feel like they do provide something very different than the other units. Something more valuable. but
The mobile cover too, still just good. It's still viable.
it is,
Yeah.
but it's more fun to have them not be able to shoot at all, except for the
Mm.
shielded unit.
I don't know if it's enough, but
Chickens
I
have
mean,
scarred Daniel. He wants.
Yeah, they have. It's
all
like,
the
I want my own
vehicles.
chickens. I want chickens that can roll.
yeah. All right. Daniel, we'll let it grade.
I'm giving it an A. I like all these changes. I think that they're very fun. Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm gonna give it an A minus, and the minus is because I really wanted them to lower the cost on B2s. I feel like you need to do more playstyle because
That's
you're
true. I
still
didn't think
you're
about
still
that.
taking B1s over B2s, and I really want a tough decision of like, should I take B2s over B1s?
That's a preference. That's a preference for coordinate though.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
You don't
but-
get that.
yeah.
That you don't. So you.
Yeah,
You-
it hurts. It hurts when you don't have full order control in the CIS army. You're actually putting yourself at a disadvantage by not having full order control, and that's where I would like to see lower costs on those units because then you're trading in firepower for order control. And I
But
think
maybe
that needs to
that's
be
where the
balanced.
super attack comes in play now because now you
yeah,
can
as
just
opposed to
override 'em.
Kraken.
Kraken's better.
once again, that to me, that's just there's ways around things in CIS. It's just how committed are you to wanting to do that? Because if you wanna play B2s and you're worried about order control, then you got to take a unit with override. And
Yeah, it's
then
just
there
too
you go.
expensive right now, so it would have been nice to see them drop a little bit, just so that they come
But
into
they hit
play.
like trucks and they have armor. They
Well, that's-
shouldn't go down.
that's
They
the
do, but they're
point.
super expensive.
Yeah. All
They
right.
should be.
Yeah, but not as expensive as they are.
Moving on. We're gonna go to see if this is enough for Jose. We got Gar with Arc Troopers, the full going down 6 points.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna say it right now. This I'm gonna take. In summary, before we get into that, this was just a 501st buff. That's all this.
Yeah, it was.
This was. That's all.
But
this was.
that's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's all it was.
Also a saber
so-
buff
Not
and
to
a
mention
ISP
that
buff.
501st,
No, this-
second
I'm
place at
sorry.
LVO.
See, I want to see what Dash is gonna do with these now.
He's just
this
gonna take
gives
a
him
big
more-
bid.
No, he'll get more stuff. But Arc Trooper full, I don't really care. I'm never gonna take a full Arc Trooper when
I think you're
it's
missing
not
out.
as.
Yeah, they're
Nah.
pretty cheap now.
Yeah, I think you're missing out.
If you look at their price compared to other special forces, they're not very expensive.
they're literally 2 points more than BX's. And they're
And they're
better.
But they don't.
Way
But they
better.
don't
Way-
do.
way
But
better.
they don't. You're just basically playing for like an expensive. Like until you get them inside of range 2, they don't do anything different than regular phase 1s and 2s.
Well,
They're-
tactical's pretty nice.
Yeah.
For what, a battery? Like once again,
No,
we're still
so that they
playing-
can have an aim to shoot, so they kill things.
And yeah, but if you
And
take
Sharpshooter
their sni-
1.
if
Mm,
yeah, I
good
get
stuff.
that, but
Good stuff everywhere.
yeah, so that's great, but it's a range 4 meta, so screw them.
Yeah,
I
Sorry.
can take a
I
range
mean-
4 gun.
Yeah, and that doesn't do. You're paying 80. What?
You'll be like
70,
the
80
only
points?
range 4 unit that's moving and shooting.
My thing is when I
I
think
could do
about
that
the
with
range
Cody
4
for
meta,
cheaper.
my range 4 meta, I'm just like when I grade these, I'm just ignoring that meta because I'm just like that's
You
not the meta.
can't.
That's not the meta I want to be in. Well,
But you-
they didn't nerf it. They didn't nerf the range 4, so
No,
that's
but they
just gonna be
did
the meta.
buff a lot of other stuff. So at what point do the buffs become a nerf to range 4 meta?
Cassian
know.
gets to kill these guys for free now.
They have
Yeah,
impervious.
he does.
Yeah, so no.
They literally have
it's-
impervious. It's not free.
It's hard. Okay, yeah. Have you seen my dice? So screw you.
Oh, I guess that yeah, they do have
Anyways.
impervious. Lame.
It's not. I would rather have them have immune pierced. They're arc troopers.
No, they can't have
Um,
impervious. Get
so-
outta here.
So my thing is, they melt the same as phase 1s and phase 2s. They're gonna do the same thing as phase 1s and phase 2s. They're gonna get melted before they even get in range, where phase 1s and phase 2s can comfortably at
know-
less points.
You know
How
how
much
shoot
more
at range
expensive are they
4.
than a phase 2? They're not that much more expensive, are they?
Yeah, their
Uh,
phase 2s are 62 points.
So they're 6 points more? 5 points?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not much.
Okay,
I'll take 5
now
points for
compare.
tactical. That's cheaper
compare-
than taking offensive push.
push.
And that's a one-time use.
But now compare that. You're unless you take their heavy, they're stuck at range 3.
Well,
Like-
so
And
are
they
phase
have
twos.
scout 2.
You get them killed faster. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
In the ideal world, where every table has a lot more line of sight blocking,
Oh
a
God.
lot better.
So my house.
The hard part for me with all this is that range 4 is so prevalent. This doesn't change anything.
I think
for
the
me.
answer to range 4 is line of sight blocking, though.
Yeah,
I don't know
definitely.
if it really has to be points. I think it needs to be just more line of sight blockers
Mhm.
because
I-
it's really easy to play around range 4 when you're like, oh, you can't see me, and I'm not going to show you me until we're at range 2.
You know what's funny is
I'll just
Rob.
run behind my chickens so you can't see me until I get to you.
Yeah,
Rob-
see, that's a solution.
Exactly. Rob and Ryan played a game last night on TTS, and I popped in to check it out. And I love the table they were playing on. A lot of line of sight blocking. And that to me was a S tier table.
Mm.
All right, Rex.
We already
going
went
down-
over this though. TTS is fantasy land. Those tables don't exist in real life.
We can
Yeah.
go buy those tables.
Yeah, we can. Rex down 5 points. Good enough.
5-0,
I like
5-0
it.
first buff.
Well, but it's also just a buff for Rex. Are you not going to do a Rex Cody list?
I do have a Rex Cody list, and
And it's 5 points cheaper now.
It's not impressive.
The lat going down 5 points.
I think this is good.
No,
Is this only the Republic lat, or is this
only
both?
the Republic
Only
lot.
the
It's a
Republic.
Gara.
That's
it's the
weird
Republic.
That is weird.
because now they're different points costs,
Yeah.
and they're the same unit, right?
But
Yeah.
when one army takes it more than the other, that's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, no, I get it. I understand why they did it, but is this the first time they've done that where it's the
Mhm.
exact same unit, but it's
Mhm.
more expensive in one army?
This is the first
Is
time
it?
they've done it. Yeah, there's been no other unit that have different point costs. That's
I mean,
fascinating.
unless AMG pulls an AMG and they're like, "Oh, we made a mistake."
Because like
But
Wookiees are the same.
right now, as it sits, this is the only one that's different, and it has a twin in another faction.
It's interesting.
Padme goes down 5. Enough for people to play Padme.
She never left
Yeah,
the
maybe.
Anakin list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's really good with Anakin. I feel like this only helps that list.
Anakin and 501st.
I just think Padme is a
predominantly
boring
rotate.
operative, is the truth of it.
Sure,
So I'm just not
yeah.
interested.
Then live life on the edge and run her a secret mission missile.
I
live
just
life
think
on the
she's
edge,
boring.
Daniel.
She
She's
is
boring.
she is boring, but like it feels good to be boring when
Yeah.
Anakin gets these tokens.
No, she is effective. I
Yeah.
don't argue that she's effective. I
She's
just,
just boring.
man, when I'm making my list and I'm like, I could put Padme.
Yeah.
Same.
And it's not because
Yeah.
she's bad. She's really solid. It's just, it just makes me bored. I want to put in a full squad of arcs. That's what I want in that slot.
The saber, Jose.
Love.
I
love.
thought you would.
So
I
here's why I love it. Because now my beam cannon only costs 5 points.
That's true.
thought-
Now here's the setup that I'm planning on using now. So the setup for the saber is now TX30 beam cannon, the armor piercing shells, and link targeting rate with Cody. So the tank will always have an order, always have an aim. At range 4 with the beam gun, I'm shooting 4 red, 2 black, 2 white with beam 2, critical 2, and the beam gets to go off of that blast. And then when I cycle, when I get closer to his armor piercing shells, I can not have to worry about reloading manually because I can just shoot the bigger pool.
and
Like it's perfect.
And on
It's
top of
perfect.
that, you can take the beam now because that dropped 15 points.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Oh, did you said? Oh, I
that's
didn't hear
the TX beam.
Yeah.
So money with Cody. I might have to kick the chickens to the side and give Daniel something else to be scared about.
I like
Alright.
saber tanks. I think they're
Din
cool.
will die now.
The NAF's gunner went down
Ugh.
10 points. Is that good enough to bring Fluttercraft back?
No, they
Fluttercrafts are
changed.
weird.
They are weird.
They
I
should
don't-
have spun. They
I
should
don't know
have
if
spun the
they're
gunner.
terrible. I just don't think
fucking
they're
bad.
Hot
great.
take. I think the gunner and the bombard one should be free.
That'd be interesting.
It doesn't have a
It's
weapon
so.
without these. And like maybe
It has a gun.
Yeah, it has a regular gun.
has a
doesn't
gun.
it?
What is
It
it?
has
One
one
black?
black.
One
Yeah.
black.
One
Yeah,
black.
literally, you're paying what 55 points for one black. I feel like you put the gunner at free, and then the bombard you make it 5 points, so you give someone a tough choice of what to really take. But yeah, it's just no, you still don't take this.
I like the
Yeah.
concept
know.
of the gunner in the beginning. Because the whole concept behind the gunner was shoot past your opponent and then fire support with the pierce and that black 4 black pierce
Can they
4 black
reverse?
pierce pool. Huh?
Can it reverse?
No, it has compulsory.
That's lame. I hate the
So-
gunner. I hate it. I just hate it.
I hate that they should have just flipped the gun forward and then that calls it a
Yeah.
day.
Like thematic wise, it makes sense, but like
But then you have to
Like-
fly it not thematically because you're like, ready?
Yeah.
It went forward and then spun around and then it did it again. It's like that's not weirdest flying ever.
All right.
All right.
My favorite change. I love this change, and I now I think people are gonna start playing it. The ISP beam goes down 15. The ISP blaster goes down 15, and the ISP missile goes down 15. And I actually think, Jose, you take the ISP with Cody instead of the Saber.
So
If you do
I
that,
was
you got to take 2.
Yes.
so I already knew you were gonna go there, and with
He's
the
like, I
talking-
prepared a speech for you.
No, with the talking heads in Discord, it's the same thing. You can't bring a white save. You can't bring white save armor into this meta.
Yeah, it'll
Sure.
just get melted.
Sure.
Your
Yeah.
only option is if it's range 4 and then it just sits
Well,
really
here's
far
the other
back.
thing.
Yeah. But that's
Here's
what
the
you
other
do
thing
with
I
the
brought
beam.
up is
Yeah.
that the height issue with hasn't been addressed with the ISP can get stuck in corners and nooks and crannies because it's not high enough to go over things. So just because all these things happen, it's great. You're still table dependent like a gab. One bad table and you're
Well, here's
screwed.
the thing.
So
Isn't
no.
it? Can they fit within a range 1? Like range 1, is that enough to fit through something? Like if a building and another building was at range 1 of each other, can it fit?
Yeah,
through
but that's
that?
not the problem. The problem is getting stuck
over
behind a
stuff.
barricade and getting over things.
They
So
can
that's
go
the
over
reason
They go over barricades, yeah.
Well, no, not barricades, but under certain and certain. So the whole So here's the best way to explain it. You know how people don't like the payload changes because your payload could just get fucking stuck somewhere.
Like you have to zigzag.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the thing that's the issue now with the ISP, but on a big ass base, you're more likely to get stuck somewhere.
But I
And
feel
that's
like-
my thing. Are you comfortable fully kitting out like an ISP and having it get stuck and just sitting there? Like, to be honest, what makes Cody cool with ATRTs is they're not going to get stuck anywhere and it's going to be on point where Cody needs it. Same thing with the Saber. Hover ground, it's not going to get stuck. It's going to be on point where Cody needs it. I would even say fucking the Fluttercraft will be on point wherever Cody needs it. This ISP has a very big chance, which is why it hasn't been taken competitively, to just get stuck, and then Cody's not going to stay by it.
Yeah, but 90 points isn't that expensive. Like,
Mhm.
and it won't get fully stuck because it's range 4. It'll be able to do something. Like, it might not be in your favorite spot.
Mhm.
I just haven't seen many tables where it would really not be able to move. There was
Yeah.
one I can remember at LVO where it's like, oh, this would be rough if you were a big vehicle, but any big vehicle would have been stuck because it was trees that were pretty close to each other.
I think if you could play AATs effectively, you could play the ISP.
That
effectively.
base is 10 times bigger.
It's the same.
Yeah,
It's
they're
the
the
same
same.
base.
No, my bad. I was thinking my bad. The RGs.
Oh yeah, it
Is
is
it the
bigger than the
same
RTs.
base?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the same base.
Is it?
It's
Yeah,
the same as the Saber too, isn't it?
Yeah. Same
Oh
with the Saber.
no, hold on.
Yeah, Saber's the same too.
Is it?
Mhm.
No,
I'm
it's
looking
not.
at them.
Nope.
They look the
nope,
same.
Nope. Hold on. This.
All right, I'm gonna
this
grab
is-
mine and prove that you
Yeah.
misbased yours.
Hold on.
It's the
This is
debacle
'cause-
all over
this
again.
is-
He's got
this is 'cause
giant,
I get-
this
hold on.
big old plate.
This is because I get rare moments to tell JR to shut the fuck up. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Saber.
Yes.
Okay.
So you know I'm not flipping. Saber.
Uh-huh.
ISP.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They still look the same.
Nope.
It's smaller.
Mm. It's yeah.
Okay. Well, that still favors our argument.
I was
No,
so
no, no,
ready
no,
for it
so-
to be bigger. It's
so-
like, oh man.
So here's the
Yeah.
problem. The problem though is the the AAT and the Saber don't have the issue of getting over stuff
Yeah, that is the issue.
because the
Oh,
height difference
height,
is
yeah.
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 So it doesn't matter that it's smaller. It doesn't change the fact
I
that
don't know.
you're
'Cause,
gonna
like,
get stuck.
what building is stopping?
It
not
doesn't have to
stopping-
be.
Well, the
building.
problem
No,
is
it could
every
be a
building
tree
stops
line.
it, and almost
Well-
no buildings stop the Saber or the AAT.
Really? Like,
Because the
I-
antenna, the antennas.
I don't know. I don't even want to get into the argument because that's another thing to talk
It would be
about.
nice if
No,
they
no,
just said that it
so
could move
if-
over bigger
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Like, or at least height one.
It would need hover ground to do that, and they're not going to give it
Like-
hover air.
I thought
to
I
do
had
that.
hover ground.
It
No,
does
it
have
needs hover
ground.
air.
Hover air, yeah.
It needs hover air.
Um,
But it's a bad. It's
all
not.
right, Jose. What grade?
For 501st, A+. For guard, it's average.
What's average?
C.
C.
All right. What about you, Daniel?
I'm giving it an A. I think that they buffed a lot of things that needed to be buffed. I'm excited to take full arcs. I think
Yeah.
that they're cost reasonable now. So
I'm giving it an A as well because I love the changes to the ISP, and then arcs going down. Everything's blue, and that's always a positive in my mind. Yeah, so definitely A for me. All right, boys. Last one. Mercenaries. The Magnet Debt Enforcer goes up 2 points.
Overkill.
I thought this is
Nah,
basically what we said last week or 2
Yeah.
weeks ago. That
mm,
yeah.
It's funny how one list goes ham at an event, and they're like, "We're stopping this right now."
Oh, no,
but
that's
leave
not
I
those
think
true.
reports
this is
alone."
more that they want people to take the other gun
Yep.
because that gun's not being taken at all. And so they're like, oh, we made this one too cheap. That's why everyone's taking the mag debt. So then we'll dock you for the mag debt.
What's the points difference between them?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 points doesn't even matter really.
It gets it closer.
Let's see how close.
Black Sun Enforcers went up to. I don't know if I agree with this. I already felt like Black Suns were expensive already.
Yeah, I probably would have left the regular squad. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm not against it, really. If that's what they want to do, I think it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's a huge. It's not even so. Black Sun Enforcers with the Scattergun Enforcer is 78 points. Black Sun Enforcers with the Magdet, and these are Jay's update. Jay's updated the app. The Magdet Enforcer is 66 points. You're still gonna like. It's not even a big enough change to be like, oh, I better take the shotgun. The reason you don't take the shotgun is because inside of range 2 with the scattergun, you're getting Pierce 1 and 2 red. With the Magdet, you're getting Blast, Impact 3. It's way more Swiss Army knife type deal. And with your pool of what is it, black and white, black and white, black and white, black and white, like it just there's no reason to not take more black dice for something that's going to help you in the meta even more and deny cover to everything else. Like, I'm sorry, just I don't know.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have.
Well, it sounds like you're
Shouldn't-
advocating for it. It should have gone up more.
No, the scattergun should have came down if anything.
I would have actually liked to
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
scattergun come down maybe 2 or 3. This go up 2 or 3, and
Shotguns
then
don't
you have
get
more
love
of a
in this
choice.
game
They
unless they're
don't, and it
terrible
makes me
like the
sad.
SX.
It's range 4, man. Range 4.
That one basically doesn't count as a shotgun in my mind because it doesn't give you pierce and it doesn't give you blast. So then it's like, well,
It gives you
you're
Pierce.
not.
It gives you impact
Oh, it does?
1.
It
No,
doesn't
the
give you
SX
Pierce?
is
No, it
the
doesn't give you
SX is
pierce.
the only
Oh, you're
shotgun
talking about
that's
the Rebels
impact.
one. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about the Black Sun.
Here's
I
a
was like,
shotgun impact.
No, I like
Dang
the Black Suns one.
Yeah.
It's the other one that I
Yeah,
think
you're
is
right.
just so sad.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Boba Fett Imperial going up 10 points. So here's another one that the two Boba Fetts are no longer aligned with their point cost.
They're different Boba Fetts though, and
True.
they've never been the same.
Well, they were
Yeah.
both at 120.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah, and now they.
Oh,
now this
wow.
one. Now this.
but they're
Boba
different.
is
They're
120.
different names.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
True.
the
true,
lat's
true.
the lat in the both factions.
This is one of those like cases where technically, but not technically at the same time.
So
Yeah.
so the point I made in our chat was this was to compensate for being able to take all of Boba's cards because a lot of people's issues was Boba shouldn't have access to Old Man Boba cards because
Still
it's
shouldn't.
different Boba. Okay, but I feel like instead of going through all the legwork or whatever, because at the end of the day we can say what we want about these updates. They still have to go through Disney, through Lucasfilm. They have to get all this stuff approved before they put it out, no matter what they're doing, because it's intellectual property they're messing with. Even in a board game, it's stupid. So to me, this was just simple. Instead of going through all the work to separate the cards and make them factionized only, let's just make the Boba that's taking them pay for them by adding the 10 points. Because to be honest, Old Man Boba's cards I think are way more effective on Empire Boba.
Oh, I agree. Well, just the Imperial Boba is just way better in general because of Sharpshooter 2, throws more dice, has bounty.
Mhm.
It's
He's just better.
Yeah.
Old Man
Yeah,
Boba
that's
doesn't have bounty?
no.
No,
What?
it makes me sad.
And he
Because
doesn't
he's
throw.
ruling with respect.
And he
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
roll
some
5.
daimyo now.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't do a day's work.
yeah. I still don't think you should take the Old Man Boba's cards in Empire, but We'll see what
Oh.
happens.
So this change, I actually have an opinion about. I think that this is fine, even regardless of the cards. I'd say leaving the cards out completely. I think it's a fine change. If you look at like where Din is at, when you take Din's jetpack and Din's rifle, which basically makes him, in my opinion, equivalent to Boba, that puts him at 130. So this Boba is now at that exact points cost. I think, yeah, Boba was probably about 10 points too cheap,
Does this hurt?
regardless of those other 3 command cards. I think he's
Does-
still strong because of those other 3 command cards, and the 10 points is just appropriate.
Yeah, I agree.
The
with
list
you.
you took to Bakersfield, the plus 10 points, does that make your list illegal, or you just lose
I think my list is illegal for that, and then also the Imperial Officer between those two.
So you got to rework that.
I mean, yeah, that was just a one-time list. You know what I'll do is I'll drop that stupid spear and I'll give Din a real weapon.
Oh, so we didn't follow up with that. Did you like? You didn't like the spear after all?
No,
You didn't like it?
no.
Really?
Like, think about when I jumped on your Cody. What did I want to do? I want to hit you and make you stay with me. Instead, I have to get priority again in the next round because someone talked me into taking a stupid spear.
I did too. Oh, okay. All right.
But
Sorry,
you got
keep
to
going.
you got the Pierce, right? And you killed him?
Yeah, I would have killed him anyways.
Oh,
Well, I can always spend an aim to get Pierce.
Yeah, I guess you can, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would have
taking
just probably
L's
not
today.
shot clone troopers, but I'd rather do that than risk the whole game on a roll.
2 rolls.
All right, best guard spirit needs to be free. That's what needs to fix.
No, it just I think it just needs to be 10 points. I don't understand why it's more expensive. Because I feel like it is about half of the time it's less useful. Half the time it's more useful. Half the time it's less. So make it the same.
Keywords.
Yeah, but man, yeah, okay.
Sorry, we
Guard
went
set-
side tangent.
Guard Saxon goes down 5. I think it's a welcome change.
I would like to
take
see him get
it.
Arsenal so he can use all those weapons, but that's probably not gonna happen.
No, I agree with you. So I've been low-key been playing Guard Saxon, and I disagree with you, Jose, so much. Every time I played him with the sniper, horrible. I'm playing with this flamethrower and the rocket. The rocket's decent. You don't really need a flamethrower. I am on the camp of you don't need to give him any weapons.
His regular gun is solid.
Yeah, and that's all you really need to do to shoot. Any of those other weapons are garbage besides the rocket. I'll agree
That's
with the
why
rocket.
he needs Arsenal.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You're probably not enjoying it because you're not invested in a unit to hand him an aim for free.
No, I am.
So
Who can give him a name?
you put binocs on something and just have him
On
walk
what?
with them.
On what? Exactly.
Probably a
Exactly.
Vigo. I don't know.
A Vigo?
Yeah.
You want to pay points for a Vigo? A Capo? You want to pay points for a Capo? Like, just to
So
put
Probably
they
have the
names on
capo anyways.
Look, the only thing you need to do, have him. Um, 6 points on a unit that's not going to do
them?
anything.
In my experience of playing him, he has speed 3. He's gonna get range 2 regardless.
Yeah.
So like
But-
I literally played a game with Nick where I took the rifle and all I did that game was just shoot with the rifle and it missed, not on dice, just because it had to get the cover because you only have sharpshooter 1, and there's 1 white die in there, so you're missing that one and you're not even piercing through because I think you have to spin the aim to make it lethal.
Yeah, I think it's lethal.
Yeah. So it's garbage. And then the flamethrower, sure, it's nice, but I think your range 2 is better. The rocket is the only one that I'll fight for that you could probably take. But even then, you have to recover to get it back. Now, you skip a turn into cycles, which is why I feel like you could take it if you want to. But if you want to save points, you just drop them all.
I think the flame projector has a spot too, just in case you get stuck in melee and you really need to get out. I think just for objective play, it could be good. But it's definitely like an insurance package, not your primary goal to use.
Well, what's funny is that the rifle right now is 15 and the flame is 5 and the rocket is 10. You could take the flame and the rocket for the same price as the rifle. I think the rifle is a garbage one.
Yeah, but you're missing the fact that a lot of the other stuff in that unit got points cuts. Your commando gunslinger, your marksman, your regular commando. So I'm just hearing you complaining without realizing and being appreciative that you have points to invest in.
No. I literally that list that I played with Nick, I went back to it and I saw what the points did to it. It got so much more powerful. And you know how it got powerful? I was running 4 commandos in it. They all had the rocket. They all had the shield. And then Guard Saxon had flamethrower, and next game it had the sniper, but I switched it out to the flamethrower and the rocket, and then Guard Saxon shield. Now the commandos and Guard Saxon all have up close and personal, way better.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not complaining at all. The list that I'm running, I just don't think his weapons are good, and that's my problem. Is like, I wish his weapons were better.
Yeah, he needs to be a little bit more
So what
like,
I'm hearing-
Din,
what
because
I-
Din has the arsenal, so he has the fun choices of what weapons to use. Gar, it feels like, yeah, you only end up using one or two of the weapons.
So what
ever.
I'm hearing is AMG's new cover system has made Gar Saxon bad
It's kind of true.
because
Yeah.
you have cover from everything.
Well,
So
Yeah.
I played Gar pre these bullshit rules, and I had no problem killing things.
Guard Saxon?
And yeah, and
Okay.
I had no problem killing things because they not once again the angling jetpack jump over here. There's your cover. It's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was getting the aims handed to me. I think it was a capo I did. No, it was the capo. I assigned a useless unit to walk with Gar just to hand him an aim. That's it.
But
That's it.
You know
That's-
what's
yeah.
also I hate is that his 2-pip gives out dodges. I wish his 2-pip gives out aims, because he really needs the aims, and he has no way of getting them aside from his command cards, which is really crappy in my opinion.
Well, that's why you give a unit a binocs.
That's such a waste, because the Guard Saxon is traveling faster than whatever you give the binocs to, that it's just ineffective.
It depends on what you're playing. If you're playing KP, you just need to hover around, then take free shot. Well, old meta, old cover rules, you could just make pling shots and so you have to go in. Just because you have all that stuff doesn't mean you need to go in. My whole thing is my thing is, when I play range, I'm cool at playing range, and I will play range and bleed you to the ground, and only move in when I absolutely have to. That was the whole thing with Gar. Yes, with the old rules, he could do that more effectively. But the thing is, like, I wasn't sweating it because that aim was being used like effectively. But once again, it's these new cover rules that make the new cover rules, in my
You need to
opinion,
separate,
made Sharp 1 terrible.
But here's my thing about all the Mandalorians is that you don't play them range. You want to play them at range 2. That's really their power is coming from.
If you're
I think
playing at
they're
range 3, you're wasting a lot of points.
Especially since the commandos don't surge to hit. At range 3, it's just horrible.
Not horrible. It's still pretty
Well,
good, but it's not
decent.
what you paid for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm thinking about taking Gar and Mandos to Roman's Battle Force event, because that's the only Battle Force
that's what I was going to do, because it's the only Battle Force I have too.
Yeah. I mean, I could borrow 2.
I hate you guys, because that's what I was going to bring. I'm not joking.
Go buy a different Battle Force, JR.
I could
buy the Echo-based Defenders.
Well, I could bring Invasion Force.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking, I was going to say, I could borrow
actually,
2 and use it as Invasion Force. Well, here's the thing. Let's put it this way.
Invasion Force just isn't thematic, and that makes me sad.
I think between the 3 of us, we could probably swap and get everybody to play a different Invasion Force, because I own all 4 armies.
The problem is that I supply me and my brother's stuff. And so I can do Remnant and Shadow Collective. I could probably do Echo. No, I don't have veterans. I have
plenty of veterans.
If you guys bring Shadow Collective, I'll probably be Invasion Force then, just because to be a little bit different in the tournament.
Well, he hasn't even announced that event, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully Ewoks come out by then.
Yeah, sure.
Ewoks, shotgun Ewoks.
We'll cover these 2 real quick. The last ones are swoops -5. I think that's a good change. And the quad AA5 quad laser gets a -3. I don't know if that was needed, but it's definitely a nice change. Whatever you guys think.
Not needed, but it's good.
Yeah.
I don't see Vans taking it rarely though. So
I definitely run the van almost naked.
Yeah, same. All right, Mercenaries, what grade do you guys give it?
I think I give it an A. There wasn't really anything I was specifically looking for. They made the Super Commandos cheaper, which I wanted.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They didn't really do that much. So A, they did a good job.
I'm gonna give it a B only because I hate that the BSE got hit. That was useless. That was not. You're gonna nerf the BSE after they do good at 1 event, but you're gonna let Blizzard Force steamroll 10 events and then.
Well, I feel like they wanted really to play the Super Commandos, because Shadow Collective is really where they want Maul and the Kamal variants to really shine. And I feel like that's why I'm going to give it an A because this definitely makes Gar Saxon list a lot better. And yeah, I've been working on a Gar Saxon list, and this just made my whole lot better. All right, guys. Overall, what would you give this letter grade?
I would give this a B. I think they did. They checked all the boxes that I had, but they didn't check them as hard as I would like. Right? They did nerf. They nerfed the Dark Troopers. They technically nerfed Blizzard Force. They buffed Rebels, and they buffed clones. So they did everything I asked for, but I would have liked to see like a little bit more extreme. Maybe like 5 more points on all of those, and something a little bit more on Rebel Core.
What about you, Jose?
I'm gonna give it a C. They slow approach on Imperials. Gar might as well just been a 501st buff.
It was.
Rebels, it was trash. They did nothing. That's garbage. Mercenaries, I love. Those units are going to benefit from that. And then CIS, love that because that's just more flavor for their taco. Yeah, just overall, just two of the factions were just useless in terms of things for me. Like I don't play 501st, so it's useless. I mean, the only thing I got out of that was the saber tank. And like I said, Blizzard's still gonna run rush out over everybody. So
Yeah,
see,
I'm gonna give it a B minus because there's a lot of blue here, and I like that. I think that's a step in the right direction. I just sad that it didn't change the meta, so that's why it's a B minus for me. Because Blizzard
it was
Force still
useless
strong,
blue.
Dark Trooper still strong. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But all right, boys. Before we wrap this up, got some rule questions as always.
Did my homework. Bring it.
All right. Oh damn! Don't look at them ahead of time. Come on,
I
man.
don't. Dude, I like reading them.
Okay. When Count Dooku, well then let Daniel answer first. When Count Dooku performs a melee attack against a clone trooper unit, while Obi-Wan benefiting from his 2-pip card, chooses to use his guardian keyword to cancel some attack dice. During this attack, if Count Dooku chooses to trigger his Makashi Mastery, is Obi-Wan still able to benefit from his immune to perils?
What's the wording on Makashi Mastery?
You reduce your pierce by 1. Oh, let me read it.
So you cancel out impervious and immune pierce as long as you reduce your pierce by 1.
I understand that. I just want to hear if it says defending unit. Because if it doesn't say defending unit, then I think you're fine. But if it does, then I think you're not. Because Obi-Wan's not the defending unit.
While performing a melee attack, you may reduce the pierce value of your melee by 1. If you do, the defender cannot use immune to pierce.
Okay, I'm going to say that Obi-Wan still can because he's not the defender.
Jose?
He's right.
Yep, Daniel's right.
I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. It's all right. No, not tripping. This is more for the viewers to just.
We'll just make Jose do the questions next time since he's reading them anyways.
I like that. Yeah. You know what? Daniel,
no, I don't want.
idea.
I don't. No,
Hey,
I don't want homework.
Outsourcing responsibility to you now.
I don't want homework.
Okay. Are you able to issue orders more than the range it says on the card for coordinate and direct? A B1 unit was issued an order and uses coordinate droid trooper. Can it issue an order to another B1 unit more than range 1 that has long range comlink or integrated comms antenna? Pretty good.
That's a tough one. I know that if they have the comms relay, then you can pass it further, or not comms relay. If you have commanding presence, you can pass it further. That affects it. I'm gonna say no. I don't think the upgrades on the target will count for direct.
Do you know the answer, Jose?
Yeah, I know the answer.
Okay. Daniel's right. It says, yes, if you have an ability to upgrade that allows you to do so. However, neither of the mentioned upgrade cards will extend the range of a friendly B1 battle droid's coordinate, as both upgrades increase the range by which you can be issued orders by a friendly commander or operative, not corpse. But direct, it does affect direct.
So direct would be fine. The coordinate's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the coordinate you get The antenna boost coordinate. The antenna boost your not
from
relay.
from a commander.
No, is it from the commander?
There,
I thought the
I'll double check
antenna
right now.
the
I think you're
antenna boost
thinking of
coordinate.
the B1 that lets you
That,
coordinate at range
Yeah,
2.
yeah, that's the B1.
no,
So
there's an
well,
antenna. Let
I
me
got it
double
right
check
here.
that.
Integrated comms antenna. During the command phase, you can be issued orders by a friendly commander or operating unit
Gotcha.
at range 1 to 4.
Yeah, you're thinking
Okay,
of the OOM. The OOM lets you.
there you go.
All right. Daniel's our Cad Bane expert. So let's see if I get him on this
Ooh,
one.
Oh,
I haven't
Cad
played CAD
Bane's
in a while now.
Cad Bane's electric gauntlets reads he can perform moves while engaged with a unit that has a mobilized token. In the event there are 2 units engaged with Cad and only one of them has immobilized tokens, can Cad still perform moves as normal?